Hi, this is a review of the Frosted Frog 75 quart roto-molded cooler that does not have the wheels. They make a very similar one, 70 quart, and you lose a little bit of space for the wheels, but it's essentially the same thing. We just got this. There's the box, and well, let's just get right on to it. We like the color. My wife really thought that was pretty slick. It's a UV resistant. It says polyurethane foam filled, UV resistant, freezer style gasket, as most all of these have. All the competitors, roto-molded coolers, they generally have that. You can use dry ice in it. And it says here, which I'll cover in a minute, recessed leak-proof drain plug. It's a nice looking cooler. It feels substantial. It has this vacuum release, which we have a Yeti, and occasionally it does get a vacuum lock, and it's difficult to get the lid to open up. So that's a nice feature, and not all coolers have that. Now, some coolers have a push button type release. I talked to Frosted Frog because I thought this might have that, but they said that was a patent by another company, and they originally had it, but then they switched because of a complaint about violating the patent of the other company. Now this, you don't need to take it all the way out to let the vacuum break. It's just to let a little bit of air in. But I noticed there's no gasket on that, but or actually, oh, look at that, it does have a gasket. Oh, well, previously I was standing up and hadn't seen that, but that's a good catch. When you open this up, it has a full hinge with a pin that goes all the way through. Some cheap competitor coolers do not. Has a silicone type freezer type seal, as most of them do, reinforcing feature on the lid. Now this lid does, you can see it kind of hangs in a little bit. So when you're packing this cooler, some like Igloo type cheaper coolers will have a domed lid, but this one you got to make sure everything is down there or it won't close properly. Now we just got this. This is actually the bag that came with it, but you can order this optional basket, which I recommend, for about $10. It's $9 and something. The bottom has a slope and goes right down to the drain, which is nice. Here on the corners, it's a stainless steel corner, and you can use it as a bottle opener. It's also where the lock would go, like if you want to lock it closed, keep people from getting in there, or this is not bear rated, I should mention, like some of the competitors are. Not exactly sure how far off of a bear rating it is, but this is similar to the Yeti that we have right here. But the Yeti has the roto-molded on both sides. This just has metal on one side, which is design choice, I guess. That could get bent or damaged, I would think, but that's just my opinion, being that it's only secured there and it kind of sticks out. If I'm drinking beverages, typically nowadays it's cans, but anyway, neat feature. The handles, very nice, good size for the normal hands. grip has a heavy-duty nylon strap. And then if you don't want this on, I don't know, maybe there's a reason you're mounting it permanently or something or whatever, but you can pass these through and then just take the handle off. Or if you need to replace it for some reason, you can replace that. This is for a lock mechanism where you can tie the thing down using a J-shaped, like this, like a J-shaped, and it's an optional thing you can order. I think some of the competitor ones probably fit that as well. And you can keep that so that it doesn't leave your truck or vehicle with somebody just wanting it just as bad as you do. Or if you want to tie it down to a raft or whatever, a trailer, whatever you're doing. And most of them have that. You can see it's recessed so that when you put that specifically designed thing in there, you can still close the lid. Okay, so that is the introduction. Now there's a couple things. It has a little place for drinks, and then if it's wet outside or you're hosing it off or whatever, typically you're more often hosing it off than not, but it'll drain itself. I've got a igloo cooler that has 4 cup holder things in it, and when you hose it off, you've got to dump out the water. So it's kind of a neat feature. And then there's a measuring thing molded into the top, measuring scale, and on this 75 it goes up to 26 inches or 65 centimeters, which is kind of nice if you need it, handy to have. And now the one thing I did notice right away when I was comparing it to my Yeti, while the design is very similar, and you can see this protrudes down in there just as the Frosted Frog does. The rubber latches on this are considerably easier to use than the Frosted Frog. Boom. Now this one, it takes a lot of effort. I hooked up a strap and this 25-pound weight from a weight set and put that around here, and I determined that these take about 25, let's say 20 to 25 pounds force to operate. It's significant amount of effort. And then to open it up, it's a little bit easier. You could kind of pull it that way, but it's not as easy as the Yeti, that's for sure, which takes 10 pounds of force. So you have to kind of grunt a little bit to get these to open. Now it is a bigger cooler, and if it does tip over, it's nice to have the lid secure and not flop open. So I can kind of understand that, but 25 pounds of force is significant, and it could be a lot easier to open. So that's one point demerit. But the other thing is that it claims on here that it's a recessed leak-proof drain plug. However, when you look at the side view of this, the drain plug sticks out quite a distance. Now it does have a metal ball flexible type retaining mechanism with a split ring attachment, and then this is screwed into the side of the cooler, which isn't the way I would do it, but it's the way they build it. So anyway, when you're loading this in, let's say a crowded truck bed, a boat, or whatever, this thing sticks out. And that's one of my biggest gripes about this design that I didn't realize when I ordered it. It sticks out so much that when it arrived on my front doorstep, it actually had poked a hole in the shipping box. So that is a concern. And for being an expensive cooler at over $300, I am wondering about that design. And I've contacted the company, I would say manufacturer, but they don't actually manufacture this in the United States. I think they contract it with somebody in China. They said, well, you know, we'll send you a shipping label and you can send it back. And I should add this lid locks open like that. It won't flop completely open like a lot of igloo type products and other lesser coolers. Of course, for the price, it should. But like I said, it's got the full hinge. The Yeti has the full hinge. This is a Yeti basket that came with ours. This is a smaller one. It is about 50, 55, if I remember from years ago. And then, curiously, the Yeti basket is almost identical to the Frosted Frog. In fact, the Frosted Frog one is a little bit smaller. The Yeti basket is considerably beefier feeling than this fairly comparatively lightweight basket, but it seems strong enough for what you're going to load into the basket area. The entire cooler is about the same weight. These run around 33, 34 pounds. This says this particular one right here is 32 pounds. I compared with Grizzly. I compared with Arctic, who also makes a good cooler. And you're within about 1 pound either way. So the weight's not really significant. Why didn't I get the one with wheels on it? Well, this is a significantly large cooler, 75 quart. If you just have wheels on one side, you're still going to have a lot of weight on the other end. Plus, with many wheeled coolers, you're going to want a hard style handle in order to wheel it. And you're going to have to pick up, like I said, about 40% or so of the weight in the front, which could be significant. So I'm going to build a little cart for coolers and do it that way. But for short distances, yeah, you might want to look at the one that's a 70 quarts, a little bit smaller because they have to fit the wheels in. As far as ice retention and how long it's going to last with sodas or ice or something, pretty much, in my opinion, these coolers that have the 2-inch thick walls, the roto-molded, the seal, nice latches, they're all going to perform about the same, in my opinion. Now, there's some that have a little bit thicker insulation, and if that's something you're going to be going way into the outback, you might want to think about one with the most insulation that you can get. But it's going to weigh more, and the added wall thickness may hold less for the same size cooler. So anyway, the Frosted Frog is good. Is it perfect? No, biggest gripe is that that drain plug is sticking way out. So at a bit over $300 on sale, this is a decent value, but you do need to know that these rubber latches, they're very secure, which is good, but you're going to have to put some effort. Now they may loosen up. I just got it, so I don't know. But compared to my Yeti, it is an effort to open and close the rubber latches. That's about it, folks. Hope this helped. Frosted Frog.